Love and happiness.
Hey everyone, it's Christine Arylo here with your weekly love letter, and I am like over the moon excited because I've been waiting for the exact moment, you hear that, thunder, lightning, to actually be able to give you this message that I've been sitting with for the last week or two. And I'm in Virginia, actually at a winery called Blenheim Vineyards, owned by Dave Matthews, and I'm in the middle of a Virginian rainstorm. There's rain and there's thunder, and I'm so excited because what I want to talk to you about and what I've been thinking about for the last week or two is, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves? And right now, literally all around me is this atmospheric pressure that is converged to release rain. And it's a good thing, right? Because the rain is going onto the ground and it's nourishing the plants and nourishing the trees, and then all this beautiful stuff is going to be coming up, you know, because of the rain. And I've been thinking a lot about, when is pressure good and healthy and helpful? And when is pressure totally F us up? Like, how many times do we like hold on to the pressure and contract and create all this like churn inside of ourselves, and then we aren't able to release it, and so we create stress and disease and unhappiness and depression and all that shit that we just don't want. So today, what I'd love to share with you is some of the ahas I've been having as I've been here in Virginia. Releasing all the pressure and all the buildup that I've been experiencing in my life. And what I've realized is that there's three main ways, there's probably more, but I found three ways that we actually put unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Undue pressure that doesn't actually end up creating something beautiful like rain, right? It creates a storm with no benefit. So I'm going to share these three things with you, and I want you to just listen to each one and then ask yourself, listen to your inner wisdom voice, which one is the one that's causing you the most undue pressure, okay? You ready? All right, I made a list here. Here's my list. Number one way that you can create undue pressure on yourself that you want to say no to is false deadlines. Those made up deadlines in your head that you say, oh, I have to have this done by this time, but you're the only one putting the pressure on yourself to actually make that happen, right? Because of some belief that you've created up here by some false deadline for something that's actually not even real. And then you put all this pressure on yourself to meet this specific deadline when it didn't even have to be that way. Perhaps it didn't have to happen at that time. And if you had actually released control and pressure, you might actually have found more space to create and a better time for it to actually happen. So that's number one. Are you creating false deadlines in your life? Number two way that we create unneeded pressure, unrealistic expectations. I'm a master at this one. I do this all the time. Unrealistic expectations of what you can humanly do in one day or 1 week or 1 month. I don't know about you, but I'll like get up at the beginning of the day and I'll write down a list of all the things that I want to get done in a day, like 12, right? It's like humanly impossible to actually do it. And then I'll put all this pressure on myself to actually complete that. And that just happened like 4 days ago. I had a list, a little list with all these little things. But because I allowed grace to come in, I said, let me get done what I can get done, but I'm not going to put this undue pressure to have unrealistic expectations that I can do 12 things. And in releasing that unrealistic expectation to have somehow superhuman abilities to create time that isn't there, what if only 4 things of the 12 get done? Can that be okay? So are you putting unrealistic expectations of what's humanly possible for you to do with any time frame? And then the third one, also a big one for us all, is false pressure release. Sometimes this can be false pressure release. If you were to go out and drink the whole bottle, right? It's like you go out and drink a whole bottle of wine, or too much beer, or you indulge in chocolate, or you indulge in the television, and you just think, oh, I'm going to take the pressure off. And so you drink too much, or eat too much, or shop too much, or spend too much. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, shit, the pressure's still there. And it's worse because I just avoided all the things that I was actually needing to get done. And if I hadn't have gone so much into trying to have false pressure release like that, might have been able to actually release and get a few things done, and then maybe had just, so good, it's really good, a sip of one. And an afternoon out like I'm having right now with Noah. Noah's behind the camera. Everybody wave to Noah. He's taping us. So which of those three things are you creating undue pressure? Number one, false deadlines. Number two, unrealistic expectations of what you can humanly do. And number three, false pressure release. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes. Go ahead, close your eyes right now. Take whichever one it is. Take a breath. Put your hand on your heart. And I'm going to ask you to apply some self-compassion, because that's what we're doing this month. And ask your best friend voice internally about that thing that you're putting undue pressure on yourself. You are a best friend to yourself right now and being compassionate to yourself. What would you say to yourself to relieve that pressure, to create space? So that was so powerful that we actually released so much that we blew the camera, and then the rain actually slowed down and the sun is coming out now. That is what's possible when you actually take that undue pressure off of yourself. So this week I want to invite you, I am inviting you to pick which of these types of undue pressure you're putting on yourself. Is it false deadlines? Is it unrealistic expectations what you can get done in a day? Is it false pressure release? And just be aware of it. And in the moment when that shows up, to actually stop, close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, apply self-compassion, and ask yourself, if I was my best friend, what would I say right now? And release the pressure, allow grace to come in, find the space. And that's how I'm here today at Dave Matthews Winery with Noah, who's behind the camera, enjoying a glass of wine, having a good time, because I took the false deadline pressure off myself. And I'm sending you this love letter on Sunday instead of Saturday. So much love to all of you. See you at the next Wine in the Divine, which will be on March 28th, the last Thursday of every month. So I'm going to enjoy my glass of wine, and wherever you are, remember, may your life be full of much, much love.
Love is